What's up YouTube? This is Andrew with Programming Liftoff, and today we're going to complete part 5 of the Qt C Calculator tutorial. So this will be our last part of the tutorial, so after this we'll have our finished working calculator. And the finished product is shown right here. In the last video we weren't able to use these operation buttons on a multiple digit number, but after this video we will be able to. So for example, you can do 40 minus 100 and get negative 60. We'll also be able to clear it. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to close this project and open up the one that we left off with in the last video. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to implement the ability for the user to type multiple digits for that second number. And to do that, we'll need to know when the user is typing a second number. So we're going to add a variable, a global variable of type Boolean, and we'll call it user is typing second number, and we'll initialize that to false. Alright, and we're going to use that down here in the digit press slot. So let's add some parentheses around this if statement, and we're going to add another condition. We'll do an and we'll check if the user is typing the second number. So we'll say not, that's the exclamation point. User is typing a second number. So if they're not typing a second number yet, then we'll go ahead and replace what they were typing with the replace their first digit with the digit they just typed, and we'll also need to now say that the user is typing a second number, so set that equal to true now. Alright, and then we're going to also use this variable in the equal pressed slot. So down here at the bottom, when the user presses equal, we're going to say users typing a second number equals false. So if you type 4 plus 5, for example, and then press equals, that means you're done typing the second number. So that should be set to false. So let's run that and make sure that's working. So now we can do 90 plus 100. As you can see, we can now enter multiple digits for that second number. And we get 190, and we can't clear it yet, so let's do that now. So we should have this clear slot already created for us from a previous video. So we're going to add some code in here, and basically in this slot we just want to reset the calculator to its initial state. So just reset all the variables that we change in our code. So to do that, we're going to start with the operation buttons. And we added the ability to check these buttons. So if we have checked any of them, we're just going to set that to false. So we'll just say UI push button add set checked and set that to false. And we'll do that for subtract, multiply, and divide as well. Alright, and also if you clear it, that means the user is no longer typing a second number. So we'll set that variable equal to false. And one last thing, we'll just reset the calculator display. So we'll say UI label set text, and we'll just set that to 0, which is how the display starts. Alright, so let's test that clear button now. Alright, so if we type, we'll say 50 times 23, we get that, and then we can clear that now, and that goes back to 0, and we can do 1 plus 3 equals 4, and we can clear that. Alright, so our calculator is working now. There's one last thing we need to fix. In a previous video, so for example, if you type 0.0, you cannot type 0.0. So if you want to type 0.01, you can't do that because what it's doing is when you type 0.0, it's converting that number to type double, and 0.0 gets converted to 0. So you can't do 0.01, for example. So to fix that, we'll need to go back up to the digit pressed slot. Alright, and right in here we're going to rearrange some things. So we'll move this. Let me grab this line. Let's move this up right after we set users typing second number to true. We'll convert that double back to a Q string, or else the else statement is where we'll check to see if there's a decimal and if the user typed 0. So we'll say if, and we can do, let's see, we can do if UI label text, and we can use the contains method, and we'll see if it contains a decimal. So if it contains a decimal and the button text is equal to 0, so if there's a decimal and they type 0, then we just want to append the 0 without converting it to a type double. So we can just copy this before we convert it to type double and just say label number, or rather new label, because this just stays as a Q string the whole time. Alright, so that will append the 0 without converting it to type double, or else we will convert it to type double, and we'll also need to convert that double back to a Q string. So we'll copy this down here, and then at the end we still set the label to the new label that we made. So let's test that out. So now if we type 0.001, you can see we can now type that. Alright, so that'll do it for our tutorial. That's the complete calculator. There's definitely still some things you can play around with and improve, or you can take your new knowledge in Qt and make something else that's cool. Qt is really powerful, so you can make all kinds of different applications with it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you learned something, and that'll do it for this tutorial. Thanks.